Dogs rarely receive the credit they deserve for their uncanny intuition. Not only are they able to tell when something is bothering their human friends, but they can actually sense what's happening in someone's body, too. Keola, an American Akita, recently had the opportunity to prove that when she began following her owner, Alhanna Butler, of Doncaster in South Yorkshire, England, around their home. Everywhere Alhanna, who was pregnant at the time, went, Keola followed. It goes without saying that dogs are truly some of the most fascinating and incredible animals we have on our planet. With their uncanny ability to sense when something is bothering their humans, they're practically clairvoyant. Alhanna and Ricky Butler of Doncaster in South Yorkshire, England, certainly know what it's like to have an intuitive dog. When Alhanna became pregnant, their American Akita, Keola, became incredibly excited about the new addition to the family. Everything was going smoothly for the expecting parents until recently, when Alhanna noticed Keola barking at her and following her everywhere she went. It wasn't until later that she realized her dog was trying to save her life. The further Alhanna got into her pregnancy, the more she began experiencing lower back pain. Thinking something could be wrong, she visited her doctor to discuss the severe pain, but he told her it was just a side effect of pregnancy. Alhanna went home believing that everything was fine and that the pain she was experiencing could just be another one of the aches and pains that come with pregnancy. But Keola begged to differ. It was as if she could sense something was wrong. When the doctors sent me home and said there was nothing seriously wrong, she just sat staring at me so intently that it really scared me, recalled Alhanna in an interview. I posted a picture of her doing this on Facebook and made a joke about the film Hachi, where the dog also does this, and suddenly my friends all started saying I should take it seriously. Alhanna expected Keola's strange behavior to stop, but when it persisted, she began to think her pup was trying to tell her something. No one really understood how ill I was, but Keola did. She would nudge me and cry, Alhanna continued. I could never figure out why she suddenly started doing this. Ricky said she was distraught whenever I went to work when she had never minded before. Finally, Alhanna decided that she could no longer ignore Keola's intuition and went to see her doctor once more. When she arrived, she was immediately brought into the intensive care unit and told she was mere moments away from death. As it turned out, Alhanna was experiencing a double kidney infection, which explained the shooting pains she had in her lower back. Because it was untreated for so long, it was one of the worst cases they had ever seen, she wrote in a Facebook post about her condition. On top of that, I had an antibiotic-resistant bug that had only ever affected one other person in the UK. It was killing me, and the doctors told me that if I had left it any longer I would have died, and more than likely my son also, her post read. If it wasn't for Keola's amazing intuition and uncanny sixth sense, there's a good chance that Alhanna wouldn't have survived the horrific ordeal. Thankfully, they both did. And shortly after, she gave birth to a healthy son, Lincoln. Obviously, Keola is a big fan. Animal intuition is one of the strongest forces on Earth. Not only are animals like Keola incredibly in tune with the world around them, but their natural instincts allow them to make quick decisions in pressing situations. When Nana Chichanda of Stockton, California brought a baby pit bull named Sasha into her home, she initially had reservations. With her 7-month-old daughter Masaila also in the house, Nana was nervous about how the dog would behave around her baby girl. But Nana was convinced that, with the proper training, Sasha would grow to be the perfect playmate for Masaila. As it turns out, Nana's intuition was completely right. With each passing day, the bond between Sasha and Masaila grew until the two became inseparable. In fact, Sasha was so protective of Masaila that the dog wouldn't even let her take a bubble bath alone. Now that Sasha had officially become part of the family, it wasn't uncommon to find her snuggled up in bed alongside Nana and Masaila. But one fateful night, Nana decided to do things differently. On June 6, 2018, Nana decided to let Sasha sleep outside in the backyard. Being that it was a warm summer's night, Nana figured that the dog would enjoy getting out of the stuffy apartment and into the fresh air. Soon after putting Sasha outside, Nana took Masaila to their bedroom and the pair was asleep within minutes. But it wasn't long before Nana was stirred awake by an unexpected sound, a dog barking. At first, Nana wrote off the barking as that of a neighbor's dog. After all, Sasha had never been one to bark, especially as loud as the dog outside. But as the frantic barking continued, Nana knew that something was wrong. She hurried downstairs and threw open the back door, where her fears were confirmed. Even when she was back inside the house, Sasha still wouldn't calm down. It was like she was desperate to get Nana's attention at all costs. When that didn't work, Sasha tried another tactic. Suddenly, the dog made a mad dash for the upstairs bedroom where Masaila was still sleeping. But before Nana could chase after her, the sight of something outside stopped her in her tracks. To Nana's horror, large flames were spewing out of the apartment complex next door. Worse yet, the blaze was quickly spreading toward her own unit. Before she could even think, the fire had now reached her apartment complex and was growing rapidly. With only moments to spare, Nana rushed upstairs to save Sasha and Masaila. When she reached the bedroom, Nana was stunned at what she found. Not only was Sasha completely calm in the face of such great danger, but she was trying to save Masaila as well. Gripping the infant by her diaper, Sasha had managed to pull Masaila out of her crib and was carefully trying to drag her out of the room. Nana grabbed Sasha and the baby and dashed out of the apartment. As soon as Nana and her family had safely left the building, she called 911. The fire department arrived within minutes, and after rescuing the remaining tenants in the apartment complex, they began fighting the massive fire. It took several hours for firefighters to completely extinguish the blaze, but when the smoke finally cleared, the tenants were relieved to find that many of the units hadn't suffered severe damage. However, the same couldn't be said for Nana. Because Nana's apartment had been so close to the initial fire, her entire unit, and everything in it, was destroyed. With their home and their possessions lost, Nana and her family were forced to move in with her aunt. But that's not all. Nana's aunt's apartment building didn't allow pets, so Sasha had to be separated from Masaila and kept with another family member. Even though Nana brings Masaila to visit often, it's clear that Sasha really misses her best friend. Since the fire, a GoFundMe campaign was started in order to help Nana and her family rebuild their lives. They're still trying to pick up the pieces of what they once had, but Nana knows that without Sasha, she and Masaila wouldn't be here today. Without her, we probably would have never made it out, Nana said of her heroic dog. I owe Sasha my life. She saved us all. She is our hero.